Hey, welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. I hope you're enjoying my summer series. There are a whole bunch of quick 10-minute binge-worthy podcasts talking about all the things that are happening in the market right now. First off, I always love to take a minute and read a 5-star review. So here is a 5-star review that says, 5 stars, my absolute favorite podcast. I am so thankful I found you. Her advice is so good and actionable. She also creates genuine communities with listeners, for example, on Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm at Dwanderful, Facebook, Dwanderful, TikTok, Dwantastic. And that is Kim McClendon from the United States. So I'm continuing on with the 4 case studies. And these are all people that I have personally door knocked this week. So I'm right there in the streets with the people trying to help you out. So the second house that we found, there was a guy named Miguel. Now Miguel is a Hispanic guy. He's giant. He's like 6'4", looks like a giant wrestler. He's a big guy. And when we first got to his house and started talking to him, he's like, no, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. And I kept probing, and I said, listen, your sale date is set for like 16 days away. It has to be you. So whatever you're shy about or whatever's happening, just go ahead and talk to us and let us see how we can help you out. Well, as it turns out, he burst into big tears. Now this guy is a giant teddy bear of a guy. So I put my arm around him, give him a big side hug, and he just is sobbing. I was like, man, it's okay. We got you, we got you, we got you. So now he is living in a house that his dad originally bought, and then his dad deeded the house to him so he could make the payments, and he's got 4 children. So he's got 4 little kids living in this house, and his wife took off, so he's raising 4 kids by himself. His dad deeded the house to him, so he was able to take over the payments and make the payments. But with COVID and with all the things, he also has not been able to make his mortgage payments. Now in his case, he actually owes what the house is worth. But here's the interesting thing. We found him on the 16th day before the foreclosure sale date, and you have to file the intent to redeem within 15 days. So I said, listen, no matter what you do, Miguel, you have to take this document, you have to file this document, you have to file it tomorrow, or when the sale date comes, you have no chance to save this house. He did not know this. So this poor guy that was hiding from everyone, hiding from us, not wanting to really fess up and tell us everything that was happening because, you know, he's embarrassed and he's shy and people don't sometimes want to talk to a total stranger about things like that. Well, once we pushed him a little bit more and I had a little bit more conversation with him, and look at all these people. They don't even know they're like being on my podcast. I may have to go back into the room. It's very busy in the lobby today. But he didn't know that. And I said, you got to file this. So he did go and file it the very next morning. He filed it right away and called us right back and let us know he filed that. But without that intent to redeem, he would lose his house 16 days from the day that we knocked on his door, which was just this week. So he filed the intent to redeem. But as it turns out, he owes a little bit more than what his house is worth. So with him owing a little bit more than his house is worth, actually 10 minutes go fast. Okay, I have to look at I have to get my glasses on so I can see the time on my phone. So with him not knowing about the intent to redeem, he would have lost his house 16 days later. And we're in the 15 days right now. So we are working with him in the final 15 days that he has left to try to save his house. Now he is probably going to have to file a Chapter 13. And that will stop the sale date. And that will give us a chance to work with him. So I've told you all this before, because I just want to reiterate. You have to go to a website. It's called US Courts, COURTS, uscourts.gov. And you can download the Chapter 13, the 7, the 11, the business, all the bankruptcy paperwork. It's all there because bankruptcy is federal. So it's the same paperwork in every single state because it's federal. So you have to go to the federal courthouse and file the papers. So he now has just maybe 10 days left before the actual sale of his house. So he's going to have to go down and he's going to have to file a bankruptcy to stop the sale. And then they'll schedule what's called a 341 hearing. A 341 hearing. And when you get a 341 hearing, that's where you get a chance to go to the court and talk to the bankruptcy judge and say, hey, I want to try and make my payments, put me on a payment plan, try to help me out. But without filing the letter of intent, the very next morning, he would have lost his house no matter what he's doing. So with him, we're going to probably have to work out a short sale. And I may actually be able to sell it to a landlord who might rent it back to him, where he would have the chance to rent with the option to buy it again. Now, when you do something like that, you have to have a third-party transaction. So I can't short it and then buy it and then rent him back to it, because that's against the law. But what I can do is I can short sale it, I can sell it to another landlord, and that landlord can work it out and rent it back to him and give him a chance to buy his house back. But by getting it for half of the value that he owes on it, he would probably be able to afford the payment. So this is why you have to listen to all the podcasts. You have to get involved in my webinars. You have to get involved in everything, because I teach you guys all of this stuff. I cover it over and over and over and over. If you go to my website, Dwanderful.com, and opt in, I've got 4 free ebooks for you. I've got a webinar at www.1234closures.com that kind of covers some of this stuff. So Miguel is I'm going to work out a short sale. I'm going to try to find someone who will buy it and rent it back to him. If I can't do that, he's going to have to move with his 4 kids. But had we not stopped by his house on the day that we did, the next day would have been too late. It would have been, the next day was the last day he had to file his intent to redeem. So it is so important that when you guys are out in the field and you're talking to homeowners and you're working with people, that you know all of these things so that you can help people. Because what you don't want to do is start trying to work with someone or list their house or make them all these promises when you don't even know the foreclosure laws in your own state. So I knew that, so I had to keep that document with me. So I was able to give it to him, give him the advice, tell him how to do it. And now I'm going to start working with the bank this week and try and do a short sale. And if I'm not successful at doing the short sale, or he can't come up with all the money in the next 15 days, he and his 4 kids are going to have nowhere to go. Again, the forbearance agreements were a terrible idea. They make everybody's mortgage payments higher, and nobody can afford it. And people are falling out of forbearance left and right, and the foreclosures are staggering. We went on the public trustee's office and printed out the foreclosures just in Arapahoe County, Douglas County, and Denver County, and there are thousands of people that are in the process right this very second of losing their homes. So when you hear me tell you guys, go out and door knock, go put signs out, get people calling you, get in the neighborhoods, get and talk to the people, it is for these exact reasons. So I am so thankful that we helped him. And then, like I said, he was crying. He was like, you guys are angels, you're a blessing, you're from God. I've been praying and praying and praying. I don't know what to do. And he was crying. I was like, oh, you big old teddy bear, come over here. Let us help you get this situation worked out. So I'm super proud of the fact that we're going to be able to help him. I'm so excited that I have the knowledge to try to help him. And worst case scenario, if I get a short sale, I can at least get him moved someplace, maybe help him get his rent paid for a year, so he and his kids have a safe place to be. I'm telling you guys, there is like blood on the streets. And I don't care what anybody else tells you, do it automated, do it this, do it that way. You need to go and talk to people, because they need you more than people have ever needed us before. It is really shocking, the things I've seen in the last couple of weeks. It's worse than I thought. I look at the stats and the news and the papers, but it's really a lot worse than I actually thought that it was. So I'm excited that I have the knowledge, but I want you to have the knowledge too, because we talked to 11 homeowners and 4 people signed paperwork with us. 11 people we talked to face-to-face, 4 people signed paperwork to us to start the process of working with them in one day. So when you guys say, I can't find deals, it's like, no. I found 4 deals in one day. Out of 11 people, 4 signed paperwork to work with us. So get your butts out there in the street. We'll be back next week, same bad time, same bad channel tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. And remember, the truth is in the red letters. Ciao.